Italy, four-time World Cup winners, one of the greatest football nations on the planet. They just missed their third consecutive World Cup. Three in a row. Meanwhile, Bosnia and Herzegovina are going to North America this summer. Let that sink in. This is Disputed Episode 3. And tonight, we have everything. The bet verdict, the World Cup breakdown, and our predictions. Let's get into it. But first, we have unfinished business. Last episode, we put it to the viewers. Should Gloria pay up after Arsenal lost the Carabao Cup final 2-0 to Man City? The fans voted. The majority said she pays up. Gloria, the people have spoken. What do you say?
I've decided. And I'm a woman of my word. Next match day, the Man City cap comes on. I'll wait. On camera. In front of everyone. But I want to put this on record right now. Arsenal are still going places. This very season. This is a temporary situation. And that cap, the City cap, it comes off the moment the episode ends. Real quick.
You heard it. Next match day, Gloria wears Man City cap on camera. Right here on Disputed. You do not want to miss that episode. Subscribe right now so you are right there when it happens. Trust me, it's going to be a must-watch TV. Now, Italy. Why do I even start from here? Italy. 4 World Cup titles. Legends like Maldini, Buffon, Pirlo, Totti. They just became the first former world champions ever to miss 3 consecutive World Cups. 3 consecutive World Cups. 2018, out. 2022, out. 2026, out. Gloria, as a football fan, how does this happen to Italy?
Italy. I think this is what happens when you rest on your laurels. Italian football has been living off the reputation of what came before for too long. They've actually been living on that. Their club system in Serie A has declined. The national team pipeline has dried up. You look at the squad, and where is the World Cup talent that they used to produce so naturally? It's somewhere there. In that particular game, Bastoni getting sent off with a red card in the 40, I think the 41st minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it changed the game completely. But honestly, even before that red card, Italy did not look like a team that believed they could win. And when you don't believe, the other team, who had nothing to lose, always finds a way. That's it.
Bosnia equalized in the 79th minute. Extra time, penalties. Italy missed 2, Bosnia scored 4. Game over. Is this the end of an era for Italian football or a temporary crisis?
If I have to be honest, really, I think it's the end of an era. It has been for a while now, and they need to completely rebuild from the ground up. Not just the squad, but their entire philosophy, the way they develop young players, the way they approach qualifiers. Because missing one World Cup is a shock, missing two, a crisis, but missing three consecutive World Cup as a former champion is historic humiliation. And I say that with respect because Italy is a great footballing nation. But right now, at this very minute, they are in serious, serious trouble.
I'm 100% with you there. I think they are in serious trouble. Three consecutive World Cup missed. No Italy in North America this summer. Drop your thoughts in the comments. How does Italy fix this? Is this the biggest decline of any major football nation in history? Want to hear from you? Drop in your comments. Now, let's go through every result from March 31st. So, since sports were decided this week, 6 stories, let's get to it. Let's start with part B, Sweden. Sweden beat Poland 3-2. Gloria Gyökeres, your guy, okay? The man tearing up European football all season. It's going to the World Cup. Is this the most dangerous striker in this tournament? What do you think?
Victor Gyökeres, the mask. I'm not even sure I'm doing it well. The mask. Victor just put the world on notice, and the timing couldn't be better. Because really, since the start of 2026, this season, he has scored more goals than any other Premier League player. That's in this calendar year, including a stunning brace against Tottenham that had both Arteta, Gary Neville, and Carragher all saying it was the best performance they'd seen from him in an Arsenal jersey. No Premier League player has scored more goals since the turn of the year. The best version of Victor is finally arriving in North London. And then all of a sudden came the international break. 4 goals he scored in 2 playoff games. A hat-trick against Ukraine, then an 88th minute winner against Poland. With extra time just looming, Sweden became the first nation in history to reach a World Cup after finishing bottom of the qualification group.
That was impressive.
He did that single-handedly. As we speak, in Sweden media, they are comparing him to Zlatan. But they said he was actually superior on the night. That's not written lightly in Sweden. You know how Zlatan is rated. He actually goes into the World Cup in the form of his life. Group F, I think Group F has Netherlands, Japan, Tunisia.
Yeah, we're good.
It's a very winnable
Yeah.
group. It's a winnable group. And Gyökeres in this mood, on the biggest stage, that's a problem for everyone. I think Victor has arrived.
We see. Let's look
hopefully he carries it. He carries the form into the Arsenal season.
Sure. Let's look at Path C, Turkey. Turkey beat Kosovo 1-0. Kosovo were 1 game away from their first ever World Cup. How heartbreaking is that for Kosovo?
Kosovo's story is one of the most remarkable stories in international football. A nation that only started playing competitive international football relatively recently. To get that close to a World Cup, 1 game away, and fall at the final hurdle. Honestly, my heart genuinely goes out to them. But Turkey have been to a World Cup before. They know how to handle the pressure of a do or die game. So Kosovo they'll be there one day. Their time is coming for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Let's look at Part D, Czechia. Czechia beat Denmark on penalties, 3-1, after a 2-2 draw. Denmark, Christian Eriksen, Rasmus Højlund, blowing it away after already losing automatic qualification. Are Denmark becoming the new butlers of European football?
Don't even get me started on Denmark. Denmark have the players. Nobody ever questions the quality of their players. But something inherently happens to them when it matters most. And it has nothing at all to do with talent. They should have qualified automatically, like you said. They didn't. Then, on top of that, they went 2-0, 2-0 up against Czechia in the playoffs, and somehow went on to lose on penalties. A team that cannot protect a 2-goal lead has a mentality problem. Simple as that. And tournament football, as you know, is ruthless with that kind of team. It doesn't matter how good you are on paper. If you can't close out games, the World Cup will find you out every single time. Denmark aren't going, and nobody should be surprised, really.
Okay, let's keep going. Let's look at Intercontinental, DR Congo. And okay, DR Congo beat Jamaica 1-0. Goal scored in the 100th minute. Extra time. One tapping from a corner. Axel Tanzebe, a Burnley defender. Go Premiership. He wrote himself into history. DR Congo are going. Nigeria are not. As someone who follows African football, how big is this?
Nigeria. This one is really personal. It's really, really personal to me. Remember, Nigeria beat Gabon 4-1. The momentum was there for everyone to see. The players were there, and then DR Congo happened. How could you possibly lose on penalties in a World Cup playoff finals after everything that performance against Gabon promised? Honestly, this is a pain that Nigerian football fans are going to carry for a long, long time. We've been here before, and that's the problem. But then again, let's give it to DR Congo. And then Axel, the Burnley player, scoring that 100th minute goal in extra time to send his country to the first World Cup. I tell you, that's the stuff of fairy tales. That is exactly what football is about. And I'm genuinely happy for them. But Nigeria, we need to have a serious conversation. Because talent without mentality will never get you to the big dance.
Absolutely. I think that one really hit it hit me hard too, to be honest.
The closer the World Cup gets, the reality really sets in.
It becomes very real. Let's look at the final spot, which is Iraq. The last ticket to the 2026 World Cup, Iraq. They beat Bolivia. They go into Group I with France, Senegal, and Norway. Iraq in the group of death. How far do they go?
Iraq. I didn't even know. Iraq, qualifying is a remarkable story on its own. Given everything that is happening in that country and given everything they've gone through, the disruptions, the travel issues, needing a private jet to even get the squad to Mexico. And they still went on. They went out there and won. That actually shows incredible characters that we can't even say for other countries. Well, Group I with France, Senegal. Oh my God, that group is actually very brutal. France and Mbappe, Senegal, Norway. I think Iraq will make the group stage competitive for sure. But they might even give someone a scare, you know. But realistically, advancing from that group will be one of the greatest World Cup upsets ever. I wish them well, though. They deserve to be there. They really do.
Time will tell. All 48 teams are confirmed. The draw is done. Let's go through the groups that matter most and give our honest takes. Let's start with Group C. In Group C, we got Brazil, Morocco, Scotland, Haiti. Brazil versus Morocco in the group stage. that should be fun. Brazil haven't won since 2002. 2002, 24 years. Finally, Brazil's here or apparently in decline. What do you think? Do you think this is their year, or do you think the decline for Brazil's parents? What's the take on that one?
Honestly, let's be real here. Brazil's decline is real. And it worries me, you know, as someone who loves the beauty of football. Brazil used to produce the most naturally gifted players in the world without even trying. You know, now they are grinding out results and still not winning the big ones. That said, Brazil versus Morocco in that group stage is going to be electric. Morocco showed in 2022 that they can beat anyone on their day. They reached the semifinals, remember. So for Brazil, this is not a comfortable group game at all. If Brazil gets to Morocco, I think they have a real chance, a very, very big chance of going deep in the tournament. But it will not be a stroll like it would have been maybe about 15 years ago.
Time will tell. Let's look at Group D. We got USA, Australia, Paraguay, Turkey. USA, they are the host, right? Can they handle the pressure, or does it crush them?
Talking about USA, the USA have real talent. You've got Pulisic, obviously. You've got Tyler Adams, Richards, who plays for Crystal Palace. There's Robinson, Fulham. There's even Balogun in Monaco, you know. Home advantage is real. The crowds will be unlike it will be unlike any other international football I've seen in North America. But the recently concluded friendlies, you know, gave us a reality check. They were beaten 5-2 by Belgium, 2-0 by Portugal, without Ronaldo, mind you. And Pulisic, their most important player, Captain America, he hasn't scored a goal in 2026. And we are in March. At least up until March, he had not scored a
You
goal.
see us time.
Not not once for club or country. That's a big problem, I tell you. Turkey being in that group, they are loaded with Adagula and you know all the other very talented youngsters. They are coming, and Turkey having come through a very brutal playoff, they will not be a walkover. Don't be fooled by that group. I still think USA should get out, but the knockouts will expose every question Belgium and Portugal already raised. They should get out.
Yeah, they'll have to. But we'll talk about that later. Group H, we got Spain, Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, Cape Verde. Spain, ranked number one in the world, won Euro 2024. Are Spain the team to beat?
Hmm. Spain. The thing with ranking is, the ranking actually tells you where a team has been. The World Cup, though, tells you who you really are under pressure. Spain are number one. Is it the system, the structure? They've got Yamal, but Spain need everything to work. If you disrupt the rhythm, they are very beatable. France does not need a system to work. France have Mbappe, they've got Olise, Dembele, and so many other talented players. And there's a difference between a team built on a system and one based on hard-working talents who seem to enjoy playing together with each other. Spain wins football matches, Mbappe ends it, in my opinion. And in a knockout game, just one counter attack, just one sprint in the 89th minute, the rankings mean nothing. That's why I'm choosing France this time around.
France? She just made a World Cup pick. France. Lock it in. Now, the group of death. So, Group I, you got France, Senegal, Norway, Iraq. Mbappe, Senegal, Norway, and Iraq, the last team to qualify. France versus Senegal group stage. Is that the game of the tournament?
France versus Senegal. Is that it was same game in 2002?
Yeah, when they had a day off and those folks.
It's going to be one of the games of the entire World Cup, not just the group stage. Mind you, when you have Mbappe, as I mentioned earlier, arguably the best player in the world right now, against a Senegal team that is hungry, they are physical and incredibly organized. Senegal proved they can compete with the very best. And the storyline of African nations facing European powerhouses at the World Cup is going to be one of the biggest themes of the whole tournament. Give me France versus Senegal any day. But do not write Senegal off. They can absolutely cause an upset. Remember 2002.
Yep, absolutely. Let's look at Group J. We got Argentina, Algeria, Austria, Jordan. Messi, 39 years old at this World Cup. Argentina, defending champions. Don't forget about them. Is it their last dance or an embarrassing overstay for Messi? Last dance or embarrassing overstay? What do you think?
Well, Messi at 39 is still Messi. I, for one, will never write that man off. What he did in 2022 was the greatest individual World Cup performances we have ever seen. He practically carried that team on his back and won. But can he do it again at 39? Physically, it will be harder. But mentally, Messi at the World Cup is a different animal. I think Argentina will go deep into this tournament, but whether they win it without Messi at his absolute peak, that's the real question for me, really.
Which we we get an answer to very soon, which is good. Let's look at Group L. England, Croatia, Ghana, Panama. Group L. England, Group L, you got Hurricane. Right. Who nobody touches Hasta. I'm sure you're very happy he left.
Thank God.
He left Tottenham. So that's his story for the event day. You got Bukayo Saka, you got Jude Bellingham, you got Declan Rice. Is 2026 finally coming home?
England, my England. England have a puncher's they have a puncher's chance. It starts and ends with Harry Kane. Thomas Tuchel said it himself. No team in world football has the same threat without him. That's not a compliment. That's a big warning sign. You know, Bellingham and Saka. They give them genuine world class quality. Even if both are present, they've both have very weird season. So far. The two players who were supposed to unlock this tournament, Phil Foden and Cole Palmer, they went missing at Wembley when the auditions were on and the last friendlies. Squad spots on the line, biggest stage available, they did nothing. Tuchel publicly questioned Foden, he questioned his impact at the friendlies. Palmer couldn't grab his moment either. So here's England's reality in a nutshell. Kane has to stay fit. Bellingham, whom, for whatever reason, the coach doesn't fancy, he has to carry the load. And if everything goes right, in my opinion, I think their reward is semi-final, maybe against France. England's ceiling at this World Cup is really, to me, I think is semi-final. And even that will feel like a triumph.
The most measured answer she has given all episode. Now, final predictions. Time to commit. Live on camera. No going back. Who wins World Cup 2026? And who do they beat in the final?
I'll say France. For me, I think the most mouth-watering final most neutrals would love to see will be France versus Spain. That is if it's possible. These two are the favorites going into the tournament, head to head, going head to head. Though France versus Argentina's rematch of 2022 would be absolutely electric in my opinion, with France looking for revenge after losing to Argentina on penalties. Remember that in Qatar.
Yeah.
Though I may be getting ahead of myself here, France is my pick to win it all. I wish I had a crystal ball for certain. Now, let's talk about France. Every 4 years, we go through the same ritual with France. We look at their squad, we look at the names on paper, and we say the same thing. This is the year. And every 4 years, something happens. Not a defeat, not a team that's better than them, something internal, something self-inflicted. In 2002, if you remember, as defending champions, they couldn't score a single goal. They were sent home by Senegal. In 2020, in 2006, 2006, yeah, Zidane's craziness with the headbutt in a World Cup final. Can you imagine? They could have won a World Cup, in that final, and it walks off. 2010, Nesna, South Africa happened. There was player mutiny. They refused to train. They got back on the bus and pulled curtains. The coach gets left behind at the training ground. The prime minister at the time, Nicolas Sarkozy, had to get involved. Can you imagine the prime minister of France having to get involved with, the national team? No team, if you really think about it, no team has really ever truly beaten France at a World Cup. France has always beaten France. But here's why 2026 seemed different to me. I genuinely believe they go all the way. You know, Mbappe is at the peak of his powers, being on, being only one, being one of only three players still left. I think Dembele is there, Kante. Those are the only other two players that are left from the 2018 title winning squad. Their squad is so deep than it's ever been. And that even includes the 2018 team. France entered the 2026 World Cup as the most talented squad in the tournament. They have a generational collection of world-class players. Deschamps knows this is his last dance also, and he will be seeking to get a farewell trophy, and he knows how to win it, really. And the draw has handed them a pathway where they don't even have to face Spain until maybe possibly the final, if everything works out for them. The pieces have never been more perfectly aligned for France. The only question, as always, with France is whether they can get away, whether they can get out of their own way. That is it. For me, Les Blues are the team to beat in 2026. I'm hoping that Les Blues faces, La Roya, and that France wins. I hope they meet in the finals. Fingers crossed.
Okay. So you pick France. Okay. She took France, so I'm going the other way. Spain. Number one in the world. Euro 2024 champions. And I want to tell you exactly why Spain win this World Cup. I'm just going to touch on a few of their players and give you the reasons why I think they will win. Number one, Yamil Lamar, 18 years old, already a Euro 2024 winner, already scored against France in the semi-final at 17. He was 17 at the time. I believe he's going to be 18 by the World Cup. He'll be 18. The most exciting young player on the planet right now. And this World Cup is going to be his moment to announce himself to the entire world. It's only getting better. Imagine that. Pedri, that's my second player I'm not talking about. No. Is the heartbeat of this Spain team. When Pedri plays, Spain play. He controls the tempo. He finds the passes nobody else sees. He makes the team tick. Every great Spain team needs a conductor. Pedri is that conductor. This third player I'm going to mention is someone that may give you some goosebumps. Rodri. You know what? We know what it does for City when healthy. Ballon d'Or winner. The best defensive midfielder in the world. No, in my humble opinion. He was injured for most of last season, and Spain still won Euro 2024 without him. Now he's back, fully fit, hungry. With Rodri in that midfield, Spain do not just attack beautifully. They defend brilliantly too. He's the difference between a good team and a complete team. Nico Williams. That's the name that has had Spain fans worried. He's been battling serious groin injuries since February, ruled out indefinitely. Some thought this World Cup was over before it even started. Right. Everybody was thinking, well, Nico Williams, it won't make the World Cup. But meanwhile, we still have a few months to go. But here's the good news. A return to full training on March 27th. Spain's coach De La Fuente says he'll be ready for the World Cup. Hear that? He will be ready. And when he's fully fit, is one of the most dangerous white players on the planet. You know that. The pace, the skill, his directness. You put Yamal on the wing and a fully fit Nico Williams on the left. Good luck defending that. Any fullback in the world will lose sleep facing those two. Yamal and Nico Williams, great combination. Let's talk about Pau Kubasi, 17 years old. Yes, 17. Spain have an 18-year-old on the right wing and a 17-year-old at center back. Both world class, both fearless. Kubasi reads the game like a veteran twice his age. Hear that? He reads the game like a veteran twice his age. Cool, composed, dominant in the air. He anchors that Spain defense and gives Yamal and Williams the freedom to attack without worry. So you got these 5 players, 2 teenagers, 1 Ballon d'Or winner, 1 heartbeat, 1 nightmare winger returning from injury. That's why Spain win. And the system that ties all this together, Luis de la Fuente, has built the most cohesive team unit in international football right now. Spain have been very consistent. Ever since the day of Raul, when they have some issues and challenges, lately, they're very consistent. No one player is bigger than the system. Everyone knows their role. Everyone executes it perfectly. Spain won Euro 2024, playing the most beautiful football anyone has seen in years. 7 games, 7 wins. They were dominant from the start to finish, and they're even better now. Now, the bracket reality. You picked France, I picked Spain. As we both win their groups, we both expect them to meet at the semifinals. That's the earliest they can meet. They both win their group. I think that'll be on July 14th in Dallas. Well, one of our picks get eliminated before the final even happens.
To be Spain.
So this is, I know, well, we see what happens, but as things are right now, which is very interesting, right? If Senegal upset France in the group stage and France finished second in Group I, Spain and France could end up on opposite sides of the bracket. And we can get a Spain and France final that we both wanted. We'll see if that happens. I think that's going to happen at the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey on July 19th. So Senegal beating France in 0-2, by the way, which you mentioned. History has a funny way of repeating itself. I hope it happens. Either way, semi-final or final, Spain beats France. The best team beats the best player. That's what I'm going with. So you got the best player, Mbappe. I'm not going to argue that. No, arguably the best player, as you mentioned. But I think the best team is Spain. Yeah. So then, if Spain beats them in the semi-final, they beat whoever comes out from the other side. The way things look, it could be Argentina or England in the final. We don't know yet. You never know. By the way, they're the team I'm rooting for, but I'm picking Spain.
I don't mind England. It's just, I don't mind because I'm just tired. They need to do it. They just need to.
Yeah. So Spain win the World Cup 2026. That's my final answer. Yamal already scored against France in the semi-final at 17. He's 18 now. Just saying. Drop in the comments who wins Spain versus France whenever they meet. As we both win their groups, semi-final on July 14th in Dallas, or if Senegal causes an upset, a Spain versus France final on July 19th at MetLife. And who wins from the other side, Argentina or England? Messi's last dance against England's golden generation? We want your full bracket predictions right now. Comment below.
France wins. France wins the World Cup. Mbappe lifts the trophy. Mark my words. See you next episode.
She never backs down. Neither do we. This is Disputed on SportsTalk Media HQ. Subscribe so you don't miss episode 4. The Man City cap is coming. Drop your World Cup winner in the comments. See you next time. Bye. See you next time, everyone.
See you.
Bye. Bye.